Is Fundrise actually legit, or is this just another real estate investing trap waiting to lock up your money? A lot of platforms in this space promise passive income and steady returns until investors realize getting their money out isn't so simple. So, in this video, I'm breaking down how Fundrise really works, the risks that most people overlook, and whether this platform is actually safe for long-term investors. I've tested platforms like CrowdStreet, Roofstock, and I've even tried buying a rental property myself, and what actually matters is whether your money is safe, accessible, and producing realistic returns, or if it's just sitting in a system that looks good on paper but moves way too slowly in reality. So I broke down how Fundrise actually operates, how the money flows, and where investors tend to misunderstand the platform early on. And here's exactly what stood out to me. The first thing you need to know about is the Fundrise IPO. So this stands for Internet Public Offering. This is a chance for you to invest in and become an owner of Rise Companies Corp, which is the parent company of Fundrise. You can actually buy shares of their company directly through their platform. Most real estate competitors don't let small investors own a piece of the actual company running the show, and that already gives Fundrise a unique edge. Now let's look into the type of IRA you can actually open. On Fundrise, you can open either a Roth or a traditional IRA directly on platform. If you're new, just visit their IRA page. If you already have a taxable account with them, you can add a Roth or a traditional IRA by going to the account section in your settings and clicking the Add New Account button. Another question I had was about taxes, so I looked up what tax documents you can expect to receive. You should get a Form 1099 DIV for each REIT or interval fund that paid you at least $10 in distributions that year. If you own shares of the Fundrise eFund, you'll get a Schedule K1 and a Schedule K3. If you sold any shares last year, you'll get a Form 1099-B for each fund. You can check which funds you own in the Portfolio tab of your dashboard. This level of tax transparency really helps show how legit Fundrise is because real platforms send real tax forms. Now, here's something that really helps beginners. Fundrise asks you to pick an investment plan from the start. Each of these plans has a unique risk and return profile. So you choose the plan that fits your personal goals, and the plan automatically takes your money and spreads it across one or more of their funds in the different way that you chose. Each fund invests in different real estate assets in different proportions. You can pick between four plans: the supplemental income plan if you want cash now, the long-term growth plan if you want wealth over time, the balanced investing plan if you want a mix of both, or the venture capital plan if you want higher risk startup exposure. Unlike Roofstock, where you have to pick individual properties yourself and you have to take a bunch of time and research individual properties, Fundrise does the diversifying and research and accumulation all for you. And if you want to keep growing your money without even thinking about it, they also have an auto invest feature. This lets you make automatic repeating investments weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and you can start with just $10 each time. The money that gets allocated according to the investment plan you choose is then moved there and separated from the rest. So most real estate crowdfunding sites make you manually invest every single time and choose where each dollar goes, but Fundrise allows you to make it automatic and to just set it and forget it. For the investors who want total control, though, they offer Fundrise Pro. So this is a membership that lets you create custom investment plans. You can double down on your favorite strategies, but you can also choose your own funds, as many or as few as you like, and you can set intelligent portfolio allocation targets. This is huge for experienced investors who don't want an algorithm making decisions for them and want as much creative control as possible. But does this hands-off approach actually work in the long run? Well, the best answers don't come from their website's marketing page, right? They actually come from the people who have lived with Fundrise's results and have used it. So take this investor, for instance. He raved about how easy it was to start investing with Fundrise and mentioned that he was sitting back watching over 21% returns in the venture plan. Yeah, that's a lot. He said that he wished he'd known about Fundrise sooner. But here's something that you do need to know. Returns can change a lot depending on when you invest and which plan you pick and which properties it invests you in, right? There's also this long-term Fundrise user with over 5 years on the platform who said that he loved it. His returns were above average, and he highlighted a smooth withdrawal process for a major purchase, which addresses a common fear about liquidity with these types of investments. On Reddit, I saw a revealing thread that gets to the core of the value of Fundrise. Someone asked, is Fundrise even worth it? He was skeptical about Fundrise returns against the S&P 500, which generally has pretty stable returns. And an investor who started investing super early in life, according to him, replied with a pretty balanced take. He said that he was fine with Fundrise for diversification. He pointed out that the S&P 500 is heavily concentrated in just a few tech stocks, and having some money in private real estate definitely helps balance that. He'd tried other alternative investments like movie funding and startups through other platforms, but found Fundrise to be the most reliable by far. And that perspective is key. As noted by research from sites like Investopedia.com, Fundrise is often ranked as a top crowdfunding platform for beginners, for its low fees, for its features, and for its overall access to alternatives and different options. So, no doubt, Fundrise is a regulated platform with a long operating track record in private real estate, which gives you plenty of different diversification options in different properties. But like any alternative investment, it does come with real risks and downsides that you have to be aware of before making your decision. So, in my research across Fundrise investment reviews, a user review I came across mentioned that the investment options are not that easy to understand. And I can get that. Unlike buying a single stock where you know the company, you're buying into managed funds that hold many different properties at once instead of just one property. So, the website has tons of data on each fund's holdings, its performance, and strategy, but it can feel overwhelming, and you might not have the time to look into every single individual property through each fund. But sometimes it's necessary. In my experience, this is a short-term hurdle. If you really want that depth and to understand where you're putting your money in, you have the option to go look. And the pre-built investment plans are really designed specifically to solve the problem of not having insight into the investment, but also not being diversified enough. When it comes to the cost, Fundrise's pricing structure is designed to be very accessible. Their fees are competitive, and the pricing structure is transparent. You're not paying hidden fees like you might with a real estate deal, for example, so you can see exactly what you pay right on their help center. Compared to traditional real estate funds that require $50,000 or more to start, Fundrise gets you started for as little as $10. And that low entry point makes it really accessible, but it also means that investors need to understand that the risks don't disappear just because the minimum investment is small. The risks are still there. For the most current Fundrise pricing, any active promotion deal, and any detailed breakdown of all their fees, make sure to check that link in the description of this video. We try to keep that link updated so that you can get the full picture before you invest. So, overall, Fundrise is not a scam or anything, but it's also not a simple set it and forget it cash machine. You do want to check in, you do want to tweak it, you do want to know what you're doing, but it's really a long-term, relatively illiquid real estate investment platform that can make sense for diversification, but only if you fully understand the risks and the realistic return expectations before you invest, such as having your money in there for a long time, knowing which fund you want to put your money in, knowing what properties are in each fund, and other tools that they have on the app as well. But definitely check that out. Click the link in the description of this video to get started, and enjoy.